I think I'm centered, not 100% sure. Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today I bring to you another pregnancy update, and then I figured with this video we'll just kind of chit chat about what's been going on with my pregnancy, and then we can just chit chat about the whole C-section process and being a C-section mom and just, you know, doing the C-section thing. So I did want to talk to you about a couple of updates that I have, a couple of things that have been going on with this pregnancy that are very different from my previous pregnancies. I don't know, the fact that the gender is a boy might take place in with all of that. It might not. I'm not 100% sure, but who knows. So what I wanted to talk to you about was things that I've been feeling. I'm going into my 36th week and just a lot of aches and pains, but again, this is all going to tie into the C-section talk. So I will be having this baby, sorry, my air wick thing was spraying and it scared me. I will be having this baby via repeat C-section, so this will be my third C-section, which is kind of scary. I know they typically advise you that 3 is kind of like your safe max number, especially when it comes to C-sections, only because of all the, not damage you're doing to your body, but all of the stretching of the scar tissue and the incision, you know, that you were causing your body to go through. 3 is kind of that magic number for you when you know, do decide to become a mommy. And not unfortunately, because the C-section is another beautiful way to give birth, but under circumstances you have to become a C-section mommy. I wouldn't trade a thing in the world for the births that I've given. I've gotten 2 beautiful daughters whom I love very much via the C-sections. But what I will do is I will give you some updates about what's been going on, and then I will go ahead and move into the C-section talk. So updates, just aches and pains lower down here, around the area of where my C-section incision is, but that's caused due to a lot of stretching and pulling, and then the baby growing. Baby currently weighs 5 pounds 6 ounces, so he's a big boy. My cervix is closed. It is 3 centimeters long, so we're getting there. I do know, like, the more you walk, exercise, and do stuff like that, you know, and also, of course, the closer you get to your due date, you know, that's gonna shorten. But you want to keep it above 3 and above when you're way before, you know, being due. And then I've also been getting a lot of pain from, like, and it only happens when I'm sleeping, I guess because my arms and my hands are, like, completely at rest, from my elbow down to the tip of my middle finger, and it is probably one of the worst pains ever. I think it's carpal tunnel kicking in. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, which is the 21st. I don't know if this video will be up by then, but it's the 21st, so I'm definitely gonna ask them about that. But it is just excruciating, the pain. Like, it hurts so bad. Like, I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm practically in tears because it just hurts. So what I've learned that does help is I take my rings off before I go to sleep, because my hands do swell up while I sleep. So I go ahead and I take my rings off. That kind of helps it a little, but to be honest, it's still so much pain. So it's like kind of from this area all the way down. And I think it's carpal tunnel. I want to say, oh, sorry, my nose itches. I want to say it's carpal tunnel, but then again, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a doctor. I can't really diagnose myself, but that's what it boils down to. Let's see, what else? Bending hurts me, but then again, I think that all has to do with where the C-section incision is at. Bending hurts. Sometimes if I sit for too long and then I go to get up, walking into like a different position or moving, it definitely hurts, just putting pressure on that area. I've been getting a lot of pelvic pain as well. TMI for those of you out there who aren't pregnant and aren't experiencing this, but a lot of vaginal pressure and pain. But that is all something that you will feel, and that's all something that will come along with the pregnancy. Pain in your sciatica, all of that is gonna happen, and it's just normal. It's just life. It's just us being able to give life to another human being, and at the end of the day, we'll be okay. We're gonna survive. We're gonna have beautiful babies, and the world will be a happy place. So enough with my 35-week update. I guess let's go ahead and go into the C-section talk. So I had my first daughter, Isabella, 4.5 years ago. Her birthday is September 27, 2013, and I had her via C-section. Now, I had every intention in the world to have natural birth with her. No epidural, no pain medication, no nothing. My goal with her was to 100% have a natural birth. It was my first time, my first child. I wanted to experience it all. My original due date with her was October 9th of 2013. And she came into this world September 27th of 2013. So basically I was getting a lot of pains, a lot of aches. I was experiencing a lot of contractions with her. And I went into the original hospital I was supposed to give birth at, and they kept telling me, you're not ready, you're not dilated, you know, we can't admit you, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I mean, I guess I understand that, but at least, you know, check me out, see what's going on. They weren't really compliant with any of that. So I went home one night, and about 3-4 o'clock in the morning, my stomach, I had the worst pains ever in my stomach. They felt like, you know, contractions that were becoming stronger, and just so much tightening, and you know, they just hurt like crazy. So I went with my mom to drop off my brother at school at the time, and then we went straight to another hospital which is closer, which I now give birth in. We went to another hospital. They had the doctor come in and check me. They hooked me up to the monitor to monitor the baby, and my contractions were coming consistent. The doctor came in and she said, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and admit you. You're currently 4 centimeters dilated right now. We're going to admit you into the hospital, so call whoever you need to call to let them know that they need to come to the hospital. We're going to break your water for you, and we are going to give you some Pitocin. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh my god, this is really happening. Like, I'm about to have this baby. I was kind of scared, but at the same time, super excited. Who would it be? It's their first kid, you know? Little did I know that a lot of pain and suffering I went through. Contractions were constantly getting harder and more painful, but again, that's normal. All of us women go through it who have, you know, conceived, produced, whatever. But I will tell you, after 19 hours of being in labor and being in pain and not taking medication, the doctor came in and said, I'm so sorry, hun, but I do need to prep you for a C-section. So I was definitely bummed out, but at the end of the day, I knew it was what was best for me and my child. So the anesthesiologist did come in, gave me an epidural, which took all the pain away, and that was like heaven. And they got me ready and wheeled me into the C-section operating room, where I don't know how long the C-section lasted, to be honest. I can't even tell you. My daughter ended up arriving into this world at 8 pounds 4 ounces. So that was probably the most exciting for me. Little did I know that once you have the C-section, after they close you up, they clean you up and everything, they do move you into a recovery room, and you typically stay in that recovery room with the person who was originally in the C-section operating room with you. You stay in that recovery room for about 2 hours. You get all the skin-to-skin contact with your child. You get to breastfeed your child. You know, it's just you, your significant other, and your baby for 2 hours in that room. After those 2 hours are up, they wheel you into a labor and delivery room where you typically will stay. Typically the hospital stay is 3 to 4 days. When it comes to a C-section, you know, so you do get that time to bond with your baby. If you do have other babies at home, like I do now, this being my 3rd child, I will have 2 other kids who will not be staying with us in the hospital. I don't really like them, you know, near hospitals and hospitals too much, so they will be staying with my mom. But we will be making sure that they come and visit us every day, you know. But that's what having a C-section is all about. You know, once you're in a regular labor and delivery room, they do come in regularly to check your incision, to check the bleeding, to clean you up, to change you out, and do all that kind of stuff. I will tell you, if it's your first C-section, I wouldn't force yourself up. I wouldn't force yourself to move around, because a lot of things can go wrong. Pace yourself. Take your time. It won't be easy at first. That's definitely 100% true. So definitely pace yourself, you know. Even after you get released from the hospital and you're home with baby, pace yourself. Baby will be fine. You will get the baby fed, you know, you will get the baby changed, but just please pace yourself, especially when you're recovering. You don't want to do too much too soon, because it will affect you in the end. You know, you don't want to end up getting an infection in the incision, or you don't want something to not heal correctly, because that is one of the worst things, having to go back, possibly getting closed up again, and having to go through it all over again because you didn't pace yourself. And that's something that I taught myself with my 2nd daughter, to definitely pace myself, and that the baby's going to be fine, and in order for me to be the best for her, I need to heal, or else I won't be able to do things for her like a normal mother who just gave birth would be able to do. So if you're having a C-section, like I said, pace yourself and be kind to your body. You know, it is a rough surgery on your body, and at the same time, it's a beautiful way to give birth. So all in all, it's not always bad. But that's my C-section story. My 2nd daughter, we basically planned the C-section a week before our original due date. Went into the hospital, got hooked up to the machines, IV and everything, went in, had the C-section, went straight to recovery, and then right into the labor and delivery room. So it's a repetitive process. By now we're basically experts. We know we have to be at the hospital at 6:30 in the morning on July 23rd. And then, you know, we'll go from there. So we are very excited. We're about 33 days away or so. I'm packed. Baby's packed. Daddy's not packed. He talks every day about how he's going to pack a bag, but he's still not packed. So we'll see. You know, 36 weeks later, we're kind of still waiting for him to pack, but we'll eventually get there. But other than that, we have the car seat installed in the car already. I will tell you only because I have 2 other daughters, a 4.5 and a 3-year-old. So I had to make sure that I installed his car seat just to make sure that it fit and that everybody was going to be comfortable, and, you know, no fighting or anything like that. You know, for the most part, we're ready and we're so excited, and I can't wait to have him in his little crib. And it's just, you know, it's very exciting. You know, it's a scary experience, I will tell you, especially when it's a C-section, having to go through it all over again. But, you know, I put everything in God's hands, and I know at the end of the day we'll come out great. So let me stop rambling on. that is basically it for my 35-36 week update and also my C-section story. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that I gave some of you some answers or maybe some advice or anything like that. If you do have questions on C-sections or if you do have suggestions on something I should do, please feel free to comment down below. I'm definitely would love to read everybody's, opinions, stories, inputs. That's definitely something I'm always interested in. If you did enjoy this video, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe as to I will be releasing more videos coming soon. And again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. You guys are amazing. And we'll see you soon. Bye!